Welcome to the Old Computer Museum channel, and this is a Commodore 64 game called Summer Games, released by Epyx, developer Epyx, published by US Gold. Epyx was very popular in the Commodore 64 world. Lots of great sports games came out of Epyx. This is the first installment in the Summer Games series. There was a full series of this, Summer Games 2, the Game Summer Edition. They were very popular, so there were lots of different sequels to the sports games. And Summer Games came out in 1984. It was available for the Commodore 64, the Apple II, the Atari 2600, the Atari 7800, Atari 8-bit Master Systems, and ZX Spectrum. And apparently Windows Mobile has a version, so I haven't seen that. It was basically, it's a sports game, different events. It was originally presented as the virtual multi-sport carnival called Epyx Games, but they finally chose to call it Summer Games. So it's a multiplayer. You can play alone, you can play with others. It is interesting because this game has world records. What's also cool is that when you wanted to compete, you would compete with different countries. So for example, you'd compete in one event, you'd enter your name, and then you choose your country. So you'd have the different countries would actually have their own national anthem heard. So if you choose, I don't know, like Italy, and so on. So each player had its country, which is pretty cool. And it was really one of the fun things about this game is the competition part. I played a lot with friends of mine. And so you'd play up to 4 players, then you would choose the event you want to compete, and so you'd be able to have a winner because you'd compare the scores with each other, which was very fun. And also you have the I-scores, so if you played a lot with some friends and a friend of yours would like beat one of your records, then of course you wanted to play more and try to beat his record. So it was quite cool. And so lots of events: the pole vault, platform diving, sprinting. Actually, we'll look at the list here on the Commodore 64 because depending on the version you have on the computer, there were slight differences in the game choices. It was one of the very popular games for the Commodore 64, of course, and so here we have the pole vault. So you just try the different height and try to beat your record. And so here's the first try: pole grip, high or medium or low pole grip. Then you'd have to calculate everything so that you arrive well. And if of course you would, this is a failed attempt, you'd have 3 tries on this one. Almost did it. Last try. I'll try to do it. And here was a little too late, so I wasn't able to do it actually. So here's fault. After playing for a while, the little soundtracks of every country would actually be what would be annoying, because you'd actually hear all these countries all the time, and after a while I remember that was the annoying part of the game. But hey, here we go, good vault. And so here you would put the pole a little higher, and here we go, 450, and then select the grip and start again, and of course try to jump the highest possible. So this is the pole vault, and you can see the graphics are nice. I really remember this game for that, also having cool graphics. Platform diving. I'll give you the Summer Games score right now, because this is probably going to be a multi-part video, because I want to show you everything and every event. So I don't want to make the videos too long also. So Summer Games for the Commodore 64, I give a score of 9.5 out of 10, because this is well made. Here we go, diving, and then you have to try to do the best score, actually diving in the water and try to arrive the best way possible, of course. This was a very nice game. It's like the winter game that I played a lot also, that came out of Epyx. These are all cool games actually. So here you'd have to try to get in the best possible and do the less, like a real diving, you know, you have to try to enter the best way possible in the water. So like I was saying, this is really one of the best games, sports games at the time. It was very original. The first time you had a team that was really the Olympics. And I remember actually what I enjoyed doing when I had summer games and winter games on my Commodore 64 is that every time there was a Olympics, I would actually take this game out and start playing as if I was in the Olympics. So it's really these were really fun games. Trying to beat your records were also fun, and when you get really good scores, it was quite interesting to try and beat that score. Trying to beat it, and sometimes it take you know, weeks or months, and then one day you do something and you actually beat it, which was very nice also. So these are the two first events that I'm showing you here. This is of course the diving, and let's quit, and then you have 4 by 400 meter relay. Playing with your friends, of course, like I said, was one of the cool things of this game. I remember playing with especially one of my good friends that were going that would go to school with, and we would spend afternoons playing against each other. Great way of making some competition. And so 4x4 relay. graphics were good enough to actually make the game worthy of what it was actually. You have to pace and try to pace in a timely fashion. That's the way you would actually win this game actually. And this is against the computer, but playing with friends is more fun because it's more challenging, especially if you have a friend of yours that is as good as you as playing this game. Beating the computer in a lot of the events was quite easy though. So if you, well, here you had to follow and I didn't, but in most events it was quite easy to beat the computer. Then you had the 100-meter dash. Graphics were simple but effective. You really had the impression you had people in the crowd there. I don't know exactly how The problem with this joystick is it's really bad. This game would really make your joystick bad easily. It's a little bit like a game called Decathlon that was made by Atari. These were really hard on the joysticks. Of course you had gymnastics. What would be a little annoying, of course, as you can see here, is the loading time, but it wasn't too bad because Epyx often were using fast loaders on their games so that you don't have to wait too long before each event when you were playing sports games, for example. One great example of a fast loader was the Commodore, the Winter Games. Winter Games was really nice. So here you had to fall on your feet, of course. Now here there's a little problem with the graphics, as you can see here. And I just don't remember how you had to do it, but I had to do it. There's the gymnastics parts, but I don't know, there's something wrong with the graphics here because they were more beautiful. Probably something wrong with maybe the emulator. Whoop. So here you'd have to make the best score possible. So this is Epyx Summer Games for the Commodore 64, and now we are going to continue in the second video for the rest of the events so that the videos aren't too long. So look for part 2 coming up right now on the channel with the rest of the Summer Games events.